used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
The Acolyte. See, this is why I thought Perp would want to be here to talk about this, because Perp is like the biggest fan of the Acolyte that I know. Samuel says suit looks nothing like Green Lantern. Yeah, but as we pointed out, it's clearly a uniform that they're wearing. Yes, exactly. So that's why Hawkgirl and Green Lantern are wearing the same uniform. It's a uniform that they're wearing for Lord Tech, and I mean, come on, man, that Lord Tech logo, it's a J and an L. What does that tell you, man? What does it tell you? And oh, hang on one second. I gotta answer something real quick. Let me let's go to this real quick.
See here. Crazy Joe Mega Podtastic writes, I heard there's a deleted scene in Dune where Jason Momoa's Duncan Idaho trips and falls in the sand. When he stands up, everybody points and yells, hey, looks, it's Sandy Duncan. You talking about the Broadway and film actress Sandy Duncan? That's a deep cut. You're welcome. All right, Crazy Joe, thanks for sending that in, man. Okay, next up.
All right, thank you, Junkman, for that quick interlude. I'm sorry, I had to answer an email. I just went to lunch at work, but right after I went to lunch, somebody asked me a question, which is why I did this at lunch, so I wouldn't have to, because when you're working, and I'm like, well, I got an hour, I'll do this, but then of course, Anthony says Guy Gardner's Green Lantern suit should have been similar to the comics, a lot of white. Well, to be fair, we haven't seen his Green Lantern suit yet. We've so far only seen this Lord Tech outfit that he's wearing. Figure Drunk says, I think Perp's love for the Acolyte stems in large part because of the Star Wars crybabies saying the show is the end of the world. Exactly. And you know what? That brings us to our topic here. There has been something interesting that came out here, but I don't think this should be a huge surprise. I think this is pretty much what we all suspected. Data suggests the Acolyte is a Star Wars success story, despite the backlash. Look at this. This is from Screen Rant. Exclusive third-party data reveals the Acolyte is a true success story for Star Wars after all. The streaming boom has made it very difficult to fully understand how different TV shows are performing, and especially so when they're controversial. The Acolyte has been subject to a review bombing campaign, meaning many traditional indicators are pretty much worthless. Although the Disney Plus TV show is known to have had lower viewership than Ahsoka in its first week, other stats seem almost designed to confuse rather than shine a light on the situation. Screen Rant has spoken exclusively to Real Good, a third-party analytics firm who examined viewing trends across all U.S. streaming platforms based on monitoring of 20 million monthly viewing decisions. They've looked through their data to see how the Acolyte compares to other live-action Disney Plus Star Wars TV shows, and the results are surprising and indicate the Acolyte may be a lot more popular than many believe. So according to this, the only show more popular than the Acolyte, the only Star Wars show more popular than the Acolyte from Disney Plus, is Obi-Wan. Real Good compared the live-action Star Wars Disney Plus TV shows. Looking at the first 14 days since the Acolyte's release, they found that the Acolyte is the second most successful in terms of streaming and engagement, outperforming the average top 100 show by a factor of 6. It is only surpassed by Obi-Wan Kenobi, which outperformed the average top 100 shows by a factor of 8. So this really should come as no surprise. The Acolyte is a hit, and we could tell that the Acolyte was a hit for some time, frankly, because we saw the critic reviews. Critics love it. It's done really well. We know for a fact that review bombing happens, and we know for a fact that audience reviews on streaming content is irrelevant because of the fact that you cannot verify it when you go to a movie to see a movie. they do verified ticket sales through Fandango. To leave a review and get a verified score, you have to buy a ticket. And that way, you know that whoever left that review actually bought a ticket and actually saw the movie. But you can't do that with streaming content. So as a result, whenever there's a TV show or whenever there's a movie, the audience score is irrelevant. And we've known for some time that the Acolyte was subject to this review bombing due to, among other things, just how ridiculously low the score was. It's like they didn't even try to make the score believable. If you were going to try to make it look like people don't like the show, you could have at least like made it somewhat believable, but they didn't. Like they were like, we got to get this as low as possible. If you look, it's a joke. It's a joke how low they made it, and it just proves that that it's fake. Because here we have the Rotten Tomatoes score for the Acolyte and the audience score 14%. 14%, which is lower than the Star Wars holiday special. So they don't even try to make the low score somewhat believable. Like I forgot to add it to the screen. There it is. Look, 14% to 83%. Like they're not even trying to be believable. Like it's ridiculous. And also, I've read some of the reviews. If you look at these negative reviews, click on the names. 9 times out of 10, it's a profile that has only left a negative review for The Acolyte and a negative review for Doctor Who. Another show that got review bombed, by the way. So yeah, this is really, really no surprise. The Acolyte is a solid hit. You could also take to this the fact that I in my own life, I have yet to meet anyone in person who doesn't like the show. Everyone I know in person is really enjoying The Acolyte. That includes my family, my friends. I've met a few people online here. I think Chris, the Bipolar Jedi, hasn't really been enjoying it. I think maybe RJ wasn't enjoying it. And John Campia, who was most definitely not a troll, he hasn't really liked it either. But if you talk to most of the people on here and on an online space, Twitter or Facebook or any kind of social media, and ask them why they don't like it, they'll say the word woke. And the word woke is a joke. The word woke is basically an admission that you're a bigot, because all the word woke means is it has black people, women, or gay people in it. And we can't have that. There we go. Everything I don't like is woke, a book for basic dickheads. And yeah, it's still accurate. If you tell me something's woke, you've basically told me that you don't like it because it has gay people, black people, women, and you don't actually also have the balls to just admit that you're a racist, a homophobe, or a misogynist. It's like, at least come out and admit it. Have the balls to admit that your racism or your homophobia. But that's what it is. It comes down to these online bigots who just don't like things because woke. And yeah, but the reality we could see, people are enjoying this. My 16-year-old daughter has called this the best Star Wars streaming show. The best. She said it was the best. 16 years old. What does that tell you? It tells you that they're reaching the young demographic. The young demographic is digging this. So that's good. The Acolyte is a hit. We've heard from, or I heard from Degrassi Knowles. I don't see Degrassi Knowles here right now, but I heard from Degrassi Knowles that a second season is almost a foregone conclusion. So there you go. And here we have one of those bigots right in the chat right here. Movie Edge, who was sending me homophobic messages on Instagram, says 9 times out of 10, these reviewers are getting paid by Disney to say good things. Oh, okay. So there you go. Movie Edge. Okay. He doesn't like it because it's got gay people in it, just so you know. He told me that. Anyway. Anthony says people who review bomb have no life whatsoever. Like, it needs to stop. Absolutely. I agree. but I don't think there's any way to stop it. They should just take away the audience score altogether for streaming content because it's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. Ghost Bubble says, I haven't loved The Acolyte, but I haven't hated it. There have been things I liked and things I'm having issues with. I still think it's better than Fett and Obi-Wan. Personally, I like Fett and Obi-Wan better than The Acolyte, but I am enjoying The Acolyte. Personally, the Jedi are my least favorite thing in Star Wars. Always have been. Outside of Luke and Rey. Luke and Rey are a different breed of Jedi. I'm talking about prequel era Jedi. The Jedi that were raised by the Jedi Order. The Jedi that went through the Padawans with the braids. If you watch the prequel era, the Jedi are so boring. They're very, very boring. They're very stoic. They're not really fun characters. Luke and Rey are different because they weren't raised by the Jedi Order. They were like raised outside the Jedi Order and then kind of like later in life started to study how to be a Jedi. And that makes Luke and Rey, they have more personality, quite frankly, than like Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon or most of those guys. So I always am going to prefer something like Book of Boba Fett or Solo, a Star Wars story, or Mandalorian that doesn't get deep in on the Jedi. But you're right, Ghost Bumbles. You're right. Absolutely. But Butts Unplugged says, cool shirt, Joe. Thank you. Hello, neighbor. Junkman in the house. Good to see you, Junkman. Yes, Temple of Doom was a hit. Temple of Doom absolutely was a hit. That's absolutely the meaning of woke. Now that's the meaning of woke. I know traditionally the history of the word. I know how where the word stems from, but unfortunately the word has been changed. You know, definitions on things change, and now when somebody says woke, it's used as a negative to basically mean that it's got gay people, black people, or women in it. Sean's enjoying the show. I'm enjoying it too. Figure Drug says, Perp hating the fact that people like anime. I hate anime too. I can't say that I don't hate anime. I don't mind other people liking anime though. You want to like anime, that's fine. Like anime. My problem is when you tell anime fans you don't like anime, they usually, in my experience, try to suggest the anime that you're going to like. They kind of go like, oh, well, you haven't seen the right anime. You need to watch this one. And it's like, dude, I just told you I don't like anime. Stop pushing anime on me. You know, it's just, I don't like anime. You can watch anime. I'm fine with you watching anime, but I don't like anime. Don't try to suggest the anime that I need to see. I've seen enough anime to know that I just don't like anime. It's that simple. But I don't mind other people watching it if that's what they want to do. All right. Where are we? Let's see. Oh, look at that. Movie Edge could terminate me at any time. I'm shaking in my boots. Okay. Anthony says, I think it gets to season 2. Yeah, well, Degrassi's pretty well connected, and he seems pretty sure that it's going to be getting a season 2. Ghost Bubble says the word woke has been co-opted and misappropriated by bigots. Bingo. Exactly. Trey says Back to the Future anime you would hate. Yeah, I'm not interested. Not interested. All right, so there we go. There you have it. The Acolyte, despite the review bombing and the attempts by online trolls to tear this show down, and it's cool if you don't like it. Not everything is for everybody. I didn't like Andor. I've got no problem with anyone who did like Andor. If you liked Andor, that's great. Andor is getting a second season. People are going to watch. I might even watch the second season. I didn't like season 1, but K2SO was coming in season 2, and I like K2SO. Maybe I like season 2 better. It's okay. Not everything is for everybody. And with Star Wars right now, we are getting a lot of Star Wars. There's we got right now the Acolyte. There's going to be a season 2 of Ahsoka. There's going to be a season 2 of Andor. There's going to be a new season of a show called Skeleton Key or Skeleton Crew. I don't know. The one with Jude Law. So we got like 3 more seasons of TV coming up. Then we have some movies. We got the Rey movie in the works. We've got the Mandalorian and Grogu movie in the works. It's a lot of Star Wars coming. If something in Star Wars isn't for you, that's fine. Something else coming down the pike. Not everything has to be for you. I don't like the animated stuff, really. I didn't like the Clone Wars. I don't like the Bad Batch. Don't hate that it's out there. I don't hate that other people are enjoying it. It's just not for me. So we need to just ignore the negativity on the Acolyte. If you don't like the Acolyte, don't watch it. But it's not. And that's another thing. You can't make your opinion. You can't try to act like your opinion is the only opinion. You know what I mean? Because these guys, like, they hate the Acolyte, so they need you to believe. They need you to believe that the Acolyte failed. It didn't. They just didn't like it. It's like me with the Big Bang Theory. I hate the Big Bang Theory. I truly hate the Big Bang Theory. I think the Big Bang Theory is garbage. But I'm not delusional enough to come out here and try to convince you that the Big Bang Theory wasn't a hit. It was. It was one of the most popular shows on TV. It was one of the most popular shows on CBS. Major hit, the Big Bang Theory. The fact that I did not like it does not change the fact that it was a hit. And the fact that these guys do not like the Acolyte does not change the fact that this is a solid hit. So there you go. And Ghost Bumble says Andor has been my favorite Disney Star Wars show. And you're not the only one I've heard say that, Ghost Bumbles. I didn't like it, but a lot of people did.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander Adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.